Hello and welcome to another cooking extraordinaire with me, Nicholas's dad. And today I'll be mostly making a meat pie. So, first things first, what I have done is I've made my pastry short crust and filled a dish. Now, what I like to do is to blind bake that. So, I've got my lentils, because it's easier. Break them up, put them in there. Right? And bang that in cooker for 15 to 20 minutes, depending. Blind bake that. I've got my potatoes already on, peeled. I've got my vegetables already. I've done my Yorkshire puddings. And now I'm just going to do the mince. So let's get some heat into the subject. Right. So we have got our heat on. And what we're going to do is we're going to get our onions and our mushrooms all together and get them started. I personally love mince and onion pies, so I do put a hell of a lot of onion in mine. Obviously, as you can see, I've cheated a little bit. I've got them already cut. I know some of you will be crying about that. Crying onion. Right. Okay, so get that nicely into my frying pan. And that's going to pretty much disappear, so we'll put some more in, because I do love onion. Get that in there, and what I like to do is to get my garlic, wang that in with my onion, give that a bit of a mix. Bit of pepper, bit of black pepper, in with my onion, a few herbs, put the rest in when you've got your beef on, and then pop a few mushrooms in. I can open the bloody stuff. So, get my scissors, because it's quicker. Yep. Hop. Hop. Yep. I love mushrooms in there, and then all we're going to bang in there is some potatoes. Like I say, I've already started potatoes, so they can go in soon. But firstly, let's get all of this started, get all the flavours in there before you can get the meat in there. Normally I'd use lamb mince, but for today's I'm putting beef in. So we have a beef and onion pie with mushrooms, obviously, because I'm a fun guy. Right, so bang them. Yep, all in there. Excuse all banging doors. That's the kids. Get them all in there, get them all nicely started. You've got your herbs, your peppers, all that in there. Yep. Like I said, I like a nice amount of mushrooms in there, just for that texture when you're stronging your pie, I just prefer it with your mushrooms in. Regarding blind baking, you don't need to. I just prefer to do it so that my base isn't soggy, but obviously you don't need to do that. So yeah, I've got my mushrooms in there, I've got my onion in there, nicely browned off. So I think we're about ready to put the meat in. So like I say, I use about 500 gram of meat. Or should have got pirate thing up. Right. So get my mince in there. Start to break that up. Don't really need to cook it absolutely cremated because you're going to bang it into your pie. So get that in there, get it broken down, get it mixing. Like so. Get all your flavours all mixing into one another. And the smell, I don't think you can beat mince and onion. I don't think anyone can beat that. But if you can, give us a message, let me know what you do, because it's always interesting to see what other people's preference is. So yeah, that's the start of that. Bang a bit more my garlic in there. Now I tend to like Henderson's relish for mine. I've said this before, some people will put Worcester sauce in theirs. I prefer a bit of Henderson's just to give it a little kick. So that's in there. And then what I tend to do, banging down, is I like chipolatas. I know you say, well, why would you put meat and then put... I'm over here. Oh yeah? So why would you put mince in there if you've got beef in there? Well, I like it. So that's it. Not too many, it's just giving it a little bit of a different kick in it. And yeah. Put as many as you want in there. I'm feeding 4, well, 3.5. Because my Nicho is only 8, so he doesn't eat a lot. So yeah, get all these in there, get them started to cook. With a bit of a mix. Oh yeah. Oh, lots of flavours. Your Henderson's relish on its own, because you can smell that. It's gorgeous. It's just a Yorkshire version of Worcestershire sauce, but Worcester sauce is quite potent, quite tangy. So some of us prefer just a slightly less, so that you're not absolutely taking over the flavour. So this is why Henderson's relish is, in my personal opinion, much better. But again, that's just my opinion. So, got my sausages all in there. Got my mushrooms, my onion. And I think that'll do for all the meat. Again, a bit more garlic. Get that in there. And then all I tend to do is put in a bit of a mixture, just to give it a bit of, not gravy, but just an added flavour. Bang a bit in there first, and then get that mixed in. Yep. Be careful not to chuck it all over worktop. Good job. I'm ambidextrous. Go with the flavours. That's it, you see. So many people are having quick takeaway meals when you could be at home with your families doing a pie on a Sunday, or like what we like to have, a big Christmas or Sunday dinner. I say Christmas because that's pretty much the kind of dinner that you're looking for us Yorkshires. So yeah, there's your mixtures. And as you can see, that is flipping gorgeous. So I shall come back in part 2 when I've got the pie out at cooker and it's all ready to serve. So join me in part 2 when we'll get all of the pie out of the cooker, or I'll tell you what, I'll come back when I'm just about to take the blind baked pie base out. We'll roll the tops, we'll put the meat into the cooker, and then that'll be part 2. So join us then, and cheers. So welcome to part 2 of this pie delight. Right, so I've been in cooker, I've blind cooked my base. I have now put my mixture in, and now the hard part, putting the top on. Now I've rolled it out, hopefully that's big enough. Yes, it's big enough. Oh, superb. So that's worked out great. Get that over here. What I like to do is to not waste anything. I basically roll over the tops like that, because I love pastry. Squeeze it onto my base that I put on. Push that down, like so. Get that down. Curl it over, no waste. Okay, no waste. Oh, I love pastry. I love short crust. Actually, I love all of them, to be honest. There's no pastry that I don't like. Get that onto your base, nicely pushed down. And then just to make sure that they're all pushed together, get a fork, just give that a bit of a push down onto crusts. Like so. Some people then put their egg white eggs and glaze it. I don't, because I just want it like this. I ain't bothered about it looking gorgeous. I'm not bothered about them in getting a prize. I just want it to taste nice and fill everyone's stomach. So, typical Yorkshireman. So yeah. Good luck. I've got cement hands. I don't feel heat. So there's your pie, ready to go in coker. And then presto, put that on top shelf and get it cooking. And put it on 160 for about 15-20 minutes. So we'll put it for 18 minutes. 20 minutes, sorry, 20 minutes, done. Right, done. So, join me in part 3 when I start serving it up. Or possibly I might just take you a photo, because you've pretty much learned what it is and how it is. So I'll give you a picture of it when we're just about to sit down and eat. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this instalment of me making another pie. And if you want any recipes or anything, then look in Google, or I'll put it on there. So yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks very much. Cheers.